This is my media evaluation for how did you use media technologies in construction, research and planning, and evaluation stages of my project. I've split this up into sections, so like the construction and then the research and planning and then the evaluation. So firstly I'm going to do construction, and this stage wouldn't have been possible without the use of technology. Even when films and video were made in past, technology was used. If you ask people nowadays, they probably wouldn't agree that it was technology, but in the same way it was. Seemingly technology has made things easier than they were. For example, to edit a film together now, all you have to do is drag a little mouse icon and click a few times and hey presto, whereas before you actually like cut the things and piece them back together. So as you can probably tell from what I'm saying, I love technology. It makes so many things possible, and if they were possible before, it makes them easier. So how could you not like something that makes things easier? So when it comes to filming, it's quite standard. Grab a camera, a tripod, and away you go. There are a lot of different cameras nowadays though. You have HD cameras, 3D cameras, cameras with SD cards, cameras with internal hard drives, big cameras, little cameras, cameras with different buttons. I think you get it. There's lots of cameras out there. And unfortunately we didn't have a choice of all of them, but instead 1, 2 or 3 from our school's media cupboard. That being said, these are very good cameras apparently. We used Panasonic HC B500 cameras, and I'm sure that means as much to you as a flight time to the moon, so I'll break it down for you. It had 42 times zoom, which seems pretty good to me and was something we actually use in quite a lot of our shots. It had full HD 1080/50p recording, which I found means there's 1080 lines on the screen, which is quite good, makes it really clear, which gives us a great picture for our filming. And the camera also had an SD slot, which was really useful when it comes to uploading our footage, because we could just take the SD camera from the SD card from the camera and put it back into our computer, so that was good. When it comes to editing, this was all done via a Mac at our school. To edit our videos, we use iMovie 8.0.6, which is an editing software we've used it to edit all our previous coursework at school. Recently, we got Final Cut Pro on our school computers, which we could have used for editing, and I did use for some of the evaluation videos, but we decided not to, as deadlines to complete everything by. We had deadlines to complete everything by, and we had to learn how to use it, and so to avoid this and the time stuff and everything, we just went with what we know and used iMovie. Saying with it was a bad idea, I'd say, because we developed like skills and techniques over the years that we've been using it. So that meant we could hopefully produce a good video. Now, saying we know how to use iMovie doesn't really prove much. So some techniques we used were muting clips, which was very important, as all of our filming had random background noise of one of us shouting at the other what to do. Slowing down and speeding up clips was something we used quite a lot. We had to do this in order to fit everything in our film, and slow motion was used to emphasise a moment or catch the audience's attention, as was speeding a clip, and that can also add more dynamics as well. We also used jump cuts, which I seem to have spoken about a lot in the evaluations, but iMovie made this a lot easier because we could just split clips, then like put them back together, and if it's wrong you can just delete it, go back to the original clip and start again. And then transitions as well was something we also used, which iMovie offer up a lot of different transitions which we can just place into the movie, see what it looks like. If you didn't like it, swap it back. In particular, we use across dissolve, fade to white, and fade to black. When editing the print part of our project, we use a web service called PicMonkey. I was already familiar with this, as I'd use it to edit together some like posters and just other things I'd been doing in the past. So making our digipack and advert on here seemed like quite a good idea. PicMonkey allowed us to add a lot of different texts in any colour that we needed, and we also found the Ed Sheeran kind of text that we use on there, so that was good. We could also add images onto images, a technique known as layering, which we had used to make our advert because we had to put our CD cover on the poster. And the site also offers a lot of like filters and editing effects, which is something that alters the whole image. Which, like, an example of that's like making it black and white or sepia, which is something we used on both of our things. In research, this is another reason I love technology. 15 years ago, if you wanted some information, you'd have to get a book, like in a newspaper. I'm not even talking like an ebook here, I'm talking actual paper and ink. To me, this is such a hard concept to grasp. Obviously, I'm not completely ignorant to the fact that technology hasn't been around together forever, but as someone that's grown up in a technology generation, I'm just not used to it. Like, finding information from books and print can be extremely helpful. For example, newspapers are still around, so they must have some sort of useful purpose. But then you can get up-to-date knowledge. You can't really get up-to-date knowledge from a book. Don't get me wrong, if you find out about history, a book is a great place to look, because history isn't going to change. But in an ever-changing world we live in, we need like up-to-date information, and lots of it. Cue the internet. Without this, I'm pretty sure the project wouldn't have been possible for us, or it would be, it probably wouldn't have been as good. We would practically Google anything we wanted to know. YouTube was also such an important feature, and God, it was really helpful. It allowed us to watch endless amounts of previous music videos that we could find students' work, and even how to do things if we didn't know how to do them. We also uploaded our own stuff onto YouTube, which helped us like share our video and everything. When it comes to planning, we didn't really use much technology at this stage, because it really consists of us just brainstorming ideas and then drawing a storyboard. I'd say the most technology we used during this was just scanning the storyboard into the computer so we could put it on our blogs. We also then created a schedule on our blogs for our filming period, so I guess that's a use of technology too. So we did use technology, just not much of it. This stage more relied on old-fashioned pen and paper. Now, when it comes to evaluations, the deadline wasn't as tight because we finished our project quite early. So I decided to have a play around with Final Cut Pro, and it was so confusing to start with. The first video I made on it was the video I made for my first evaluation, signalling where ideas we used occurred in real life videos. And as confusing as it was, I think it'd be hard to dispute that Final Cut Pro makes a much better product than iMovie. Even from when I first started, I could tell it was more advanced. Just like little things in it, like the title scene I used looks pretty cool, and all I had to do was type the title in, and iMovie already had the kind of like software there to make it look great. It also allowed me to add layers to the screen, in that I could have like a video in the background and then put writing on top of it, which was something that I needed. I could also add multiple audio tracks onto the video, which was helpful, as I had a mixture of different songs in it, so I needed that. And it was hard working out how to do simple things that I found like so easy in iMovie now, but once I worked it out, it was fine. I also obviously use Blogger a lot to put together the videos and some text in blog posts. And the evaluation that I'm doing now, I'm filming on my laptop using a built-in camera. I think I'm going to then edit it using a Windows Movie Maker, because that's the only editing software I've got at home, and or maybe save the footage to like a USB stick and edit on a Mac at school to make it look cooler. So there you go. That's all the ways I can think of that I use technology during the construction and research, plan and evaluation stage as part of my project. And if I think of any more, which I probably will, they'll probably just be added in text below this video. And I most probably will have forgotten something or think of something clever after I've done this video to add to that. So scroll down just in case.